Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Blackburn here for day 2 of your writing lesson. Today we're going to continue studying Robert Munsch and we will be listening to the story Smelly Socks. If you have not listened to this story before, I think you'll like it. It's very funny. And this is the time that you need to go grab some paper and pencil so that you can take notes, because we will continue to be writing down what we're noticing about his author's craft. Okay, so pause the video if you need to so you can go grab those things. Okay, so study authors to learn more about their craft. Learning goal. Students will be able to identify similar characteristics by the same author. Students will be able to use the terms author, characteristics, and craft. So like I said, we will be reading several books by the author Robert Munsch this week. We read Purple, Green, and Yellow. Thomas's Snowsuit was part of your puzzle piece. And then Stephanie's Ponytail we also listened to yesterday. So you will be looking for the author's style, craft, and characteristics. You'll ask yourself, what do you notice about the author's writing? Does he do anything that is the same in his books? So remember to take notes on Robert Munsch's writing characteristics. What did he do in this book that was similar to his writing in his other books? So we'll go ahead and listen to Smelly Socks. And I think you'll start to notice a lot of things that are definitely the same about his writing style.
Smelly Socks by Robert Munsch. When Tina wanted new socks, her mom took her to the only store in town. "This store only has black socks," said Tina. "Can we please go across the river and get some really good socks?" "We can't drive right across the river because there's no bridge here," said Tina's mom. "You know it is a long, long, long way to the only bridge, and besides, we don't have a car." So Tina went to her grandfather and said, "Can you please take me across the river in your boat? I want to buy some really good socks." "The motor is not working on the boat," said her grandfather. "Row," said Tina. "We can row." "I will row and you can sit in the back of the boat." "You will row?" said her grandfather. "Yes," said Tina. "Rowing is easy." So Tina got in the boat and rowed slowly. Splash, splash, splash. And the boat went in slow circles. Swish, swish, swish. Tina rowed fast. Splash, 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 splash. And the boat went in fast circles. Swish, 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 swish. "This boat has forgotten how to row," said Tina. "You sit in the back and tell me what to do," said her grandfather. So Tina sat in the back and told her grandfather how to row. And her grandfather rowed all the way across the river. Then they walked all the way through the town to the big sock store. At the store, Tina tried on socks that were too big, socks that were too little, socks that were too blue, and socks that were too pink. Tina tried on millions and millions of socks. Finally, she found a perfect pair of red, yellow, and green socks. Then, since it was almost time for dinner, Tina and her grandfather ran back to the boat, and this time the boat sort of remembered how to row. Tina rowed around and around and around, and still got to the other side. When they got back, Tina ran home and yelled, "Socks, socks, wonderful socks! These are the best socks I have ever seen in my life. Grandpa rowed me all the way across the river to get these socks. I am never going to take them off." "Never?" asked Tina's mom. "Never," said Tina. "Uh-oh," said Tina's mother. So Tina wore her socks for a long time. She wore them for 1, 2, socks. Just let me wash them really quick. They will start to smell if you don't get them washed. Socks, socks, wonderful socks, said Tina. I am never going to take them off. After Tina wore her socks for 10 more days, the kids at school said, Tina, what a smell! Change your socks. Socks, wonderful socks, said Tina. I am never going to take them off. After Tina wore her socks for 10 more days, a whole flock of Canada geese flew over her house and dropped right out of the sky from the smell. 2 moose walked through her yard and fell over from the smell. Ducks, raccoons, and squirrels fell over when she walked to school. Finally, even a skunk fell over from the smell. Tina's friends decided to do something. They all came to her house and knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. When Tina opened the door, they grabbed her and carried her to the river. Then they held their noses and took off her socks. Some of the kids helped Tina and some of the kids washed the socks. Scrub, 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 scrub. All the fish in the river floated up to the top and acted like they were dead. The kids washed some more. Scrub, 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 scrub. All the beavers ran out of the river and went to live with Tina's grandfather. They washed some more. Scrub, 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 scrub. Far down the river, people said, how come the river smells like dirty socks? Finally, the socks were clean. Wow, said Tina. They look nicer when they are clean. Wow, said Tina. They smell nicer when they're clean. Wow, said Tina. They feel nicer when they are clean. Tina put on the socks and said, I am going to wear clean socks from now on. The beavers left her grandfather's house and went back to the river. The Canada geese got up off the ground and flew away. The fish decided that they were not dead after all and jumped and splashed in the river. Tina went to her mom and said, my socks are nice and clean, and I think it would be very nice if you took me to town to get me a nice new red, yellow, and green shirt. Promise to wash it, said her mom. No, said Tina. If I wait long enough, the kids at school will wash it for me.
Okay, boys and girls, so that's the end of that story, and hopefully you noticed some definite things that Robert Munsch did with his writing style that he has continued to do through all of his stories. So I'm going to take you now to the next slide. And this was the chart that we had started and we talked about yesterday. We have things that Robert Munsch always does and some things that he often does. We talked about his use of repetition. Something strange happens. He uses children and stories from real life, uses hyperboles and exaggeration, has a theme, and then how he often stretches words out, uses onomatopoeia, and uses all capital letters. So in your puzzle piece today, I'm going to have you identify some of those things and add to this from the story we just listened to, Smelly Socks. So in conclusion, when reading books by the same author, look for the author's writing style or craft. Does the author do something in all of his or her books? And are there patterns in the author's writing? Complete the puzzle piece in Schoology and see if you can identify the author's craft. So, I hope you enjoyed Smelly Socks today. I know that his books do make me laugh. I can make connections to them from being a child, and I'm sure that you can too. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have some smelly socks at home right now that you may need to clean yourself. So you might want to help your parents out and throw them in the washer. Anyway, be looking for some of those things that help you identify the author's craft and writing style. and in the books that you read, because I know many of you, once you find an author that you do enjoy, you read multiple books by the same author. And those are things that you should be looking at. And then you can also imitate them in your writing. So if there's something that you like that the author is doing, such as with Robert Munsch, he uses the repetition with his words, he uses the loud words, he uses onomatopoeia. That is something that you can do with your writing as well, and you'll have an opportunity to do that as well tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing what you have to write. All right, have a great day, boys and girls, and reach out to your teachers if you have any questions.